What's up? Welcome to a new episode of Movie Schmovie. This is episode number 493. My name is Steve. I'm one of the co-hosts of the show. And as always, I'm joined by
Ron.
Chaka. And John.
that's John. Yeah, that's
Yeah. Did you
I love
guys
it.
hear a creepy voice whispering Chaka?
So
anyone else
creepy,
hear that?
dude. So creepy.
I hope that's not a bad omen. Hope no one's about to get pulled overboard out of this podcast.
And take the place of another.
Take the place of a cursed pedophile.
It's a great way to start the pod. That's where
Yeah.
we're at in the first 2 minutes. The word pedophile. Good to see you guys. I'm enjoying seeing you guys. I'm not enjoying this heat wave that we're experiencing right
Oh
now
my
in
goodness.
Baltimore, Maryland, or the region, I guess, as a whole. But it has been wild the past
don't-
couple of days.
Here's the thing. Don't tell me it's 100 and feels like 111. It's 111.
Right.
That's it. That's it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Feels like people are fainting on the street. That's what it feels like. It's just,
For real, dude. Yeah.
it's crazy, man.
It's wild. It's definitely wild. And yeah, it doesn't feel good outside, inside, everywhere. It just feels kind of not great. But
Well, when I came home today,
uh
it was nice. Like someone must have cranked the AC at my house or something because it felt really good when I came
wow.
home. And it felt so good when I came home that I said, "Ooh, it feels good in here." You
I
know,
like that.
yeah.
I dig it. I dig it. Like we've been trying to like maintain and do our job, like our role in preserving energy with this kind of stuff. But then like, my 3-level townhouse, like when we're up on the top level at night, I'm like, I've made a mistake. What have I done? It's 80 degrees upstairs. I'm like, how do I cool the house down? But yeah, we'll survive. But yes, it's good to see you guys at the coolest part of our days so far, I bet.
Yes.
Hopefully the
Yeah.
night's cooling out. And yeah, so what's on the docket for today for the convo? And that's John, you had before we get to require viewing, John, you had the topic you wanted to bring up.
Well, I just wanted to bring up this. I feel like we see this story from time to time, or it comes back up, or for various reasons, this topic
Right.
rolls around, which is just how reliable is it if you're counting on any streaming service or any online library or any availability of things online. I guess you balance that against the fear people have that their 20-year-old, 25-year-old, 30-year-old DVDs are possibly not going to play forever.
Yeah.
I don't know if Blu-rays and HD or anything is different, but I know that there's not really a format that is guaranteed to last forever for preserving these things. And I figured, Ronald, I see you nodding, and you mentioned before we started recording, you have thoughts on this. But I just was prompted by this story from last week about Sony pulling up to 500 titles, and it made it sound like it was spread across all kinds of media. And that just means from availability on streamers.
Yeah.
That
Right.
means stuff that technically would be a part of some streamer's library or available for rent or purchase is not available at all. And I mean, I'm kind of asking, is that what that means? That it's like,
Yeah,
being
so if you
ex-
purchase it, they're just saying sorry. If you have any of these movies, these TV shows, that's it. Like there's nothing else. The Sony's done this before,
Yeah.
and in small chunks. Like they'll say like, yeah, 50 movies are gone. You know what I mean? And people are complaining then, but 500 is a massive amount, especially in this age where things are digital. People's digital libraries are very important to them,
Yeah.
including my own. I have a pretty huge digital library that goes across a couple, thanks to Movies Anywhere. But yeah, I have stuff in Fandango, which is up there to me, and then the Apple TV, and I did have some on Microsoft. Microsoft closed their stores which is another weird thing. So like it's strange. It's like getting to a point where there's only a couple retailers that are providing digital purchases.
Yeah.
And it's, thank God Apple's been steadfast. They've never wavered. They've never, things rarely disappear from Apple's
Right.
library, which is really cool. But yeah, you hear about these things happening all the time with studios. Uh, well, one of the cooler things is one of the bigger um, movie studios just signed with Movies Anywhere, so their library is like slowly coming to their platform, which means that Lionsgate. So whatever Lionsgate
Right.
purchases you have will then be spread out to all the other vendors that you have it synced with. So like that goes from Verizon or Xfinity if you have it hooked up to that to iTunes and Fandango. So anything you purchase will spread around the ecosystem. But this is a big blow to people who may have had, some people have had PlayStations and just buy movies that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a ton of people that only have PlayStation that have only purchased movies that way. Um, and unfortunately have been stripped of quite a few more, and they're good movies I've seen. Like it's, if you look at the list, it's not like any slouching movies. Like some good titles in there if you want to search. But
What's the logic behind that? Is
I don't know, man.
I mean, again,
It's
if it were just a few titles, you might go, "Oh, this is a licensing agreement," or "Oh, this is a distribution deal," or something like that. But when it's that many things, it feels it's like when HBO or Max or whatever permutation of that. I remember there was a point where they started pulling all the stuff that was like WB library stuff that
Yeah.
had been kind of sold as part of the app, if you subscribe to that service. And it was like they used to have like all the Warner Brothers Looney Tunes cartoons up there or whatever, and then they winnowed that down. I don't know. I mean, to me, it seems like somewhere in my heart, I think the goal should be for everything to be accessible. I know that's not realistic, maybe. I don't know
right.
why it's not realistic, really, because I don't know if this hard drive space is the issue. I guess I still don't quite get why it's effective for them to take away something that might grab streams or might.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, do you think there's any possibility that they would want to push people back towards purchasing physical media? Like, do you think there would be any forced scarcity of movies on streaming with the idea of
Hmm.
selling more? I mean, do you think they have any hope as an industry of returning to that? Or do you think physical media for movies is almost increasingly a niche item?
I think it's very niche. It's no offense,
Yeah.
and I'm a part of the physical media
You like
group.
to
It's
get
just
physical.
I like to get physical, physical.
Physical.
Because the thing is, like, what's happened is, like, I guess one of the biggest two. Sony has done 3 announcements in a very short amount of time,
Yeah. Yeah.
all
Yeah.
related, right? So,
Yeah.
one, 500 movies removed. Two, their system, they will no longer have physical copies of games after 2028. And then the third and the biggest is, people tend to associate GTA with PlayStation. I'm not one of those people, but people do. They just announced that GTA will not have a physical disc. When you go to the store to buy a game, it'll be a piece of paper in a goddamn case, and then you will be downloading it. Because they don't even want to fake it anymore. It used to
Yeah.
be like a disc, and it's like a
Yeah.
little code that would, kind of switch, and then you download a packet. They're
Right. It
not
would
even.
act like it was downloading content,
Yeah, and then
but
it would just be
really,
like, oh,
yeah,
look at,
yeah. This
here's
is
a
basically
here's a
downloading the game.
10 gig download for some reason. But yeah, they're not even faking it anymore, and I think
I mean, it
there
makes
is
sense. They're not wasting the plastic or whatever,
for
but it's
sure.
still they're wasting the other plastic, I guess,
Yeah.
the case
Yeah.
it comes in.
But what happens to like games that lose their licensing,
Yeah.
but you have a physical copy of the game?
Yeah.
Or if
That.
something happens to your saved, I mean, I don't know. I guess you could still download it again if you have the code. But let's say something happens to your player. It seems like it's increasingly hard there to, maybe you've got an email or something that has your license number in it. But you know what I'm
Sure.
Right.
saying? Maybe
Yeah, man.
you have to hold on to the case, the empty case that came with the piece of paper in it.
Yeah. So the Sony thing seems to be related to Studio Canal, and Canal is not dealing with PlayStation in this way anymore. And some of the movies, listen to these movies, because these are like not small movies. Terminator 2, Hot Fuzz, Rambo, Apocalypse Now, Moonlight, Bridget Jones's Diary, Evil Dead, Paddington, American Gods, Sharknado, Highlander, and Total Recall. Those are just a few of the many movies that are being removed because of whatever deal they've lost
Yeah.
or something.
And like what it comes down to is a realization that like I don't know if one of you already said it, but like not really owning anything
Yeah.
when it comes to
Yes,
some of these
yes.
digital purchases. Like you're not actually owning the movie. You own a
Mm,
license
yeah,
to watch the movie on that platform at your will as long as that license is still valid. And that's
yeah,
what's happening with this is that PlayStation, Sony, and Studio Canal or the parent company Vivendi, like they're like the biggest production company in Europe, and and that's the game is that they get these properties, they license them out to companies to be able to do whatever they want with them, like in this case sell digital versions of them on a platform or a gaming system or whatever. But yeah, it really just kind of makes you think about how real that digital purchase is when who you purchased it from is not the true owner of it to begin with. They have licensed it themselves to be able to sell it to you. So you know what I mean? Like they sold
Mm-hmm.
you something they didn't really own. They just had the right to sell you.
uh,
So when that right expires, they then have to remove that. Or that's a part of that's this deal at least. And that's a
Yeah.
pretty common thing that a lot of these things do. Like you can look at even streaming platforms, things that we don't even necessarily quote unquote own. You pay to stream Netflix's library, and you'll see it all the time. There's literally a website you can go to or a newsletter you can get through them about which movies and shows are leaving the platform because of licensing expirations, which is why there's so much in the game now of creating their own content. Because when Netflix was launching, all they could do was license everything they could. Like the
Yeah.
days of every show you loved was on Netflix are coming to an end because the companies that really own them now want them for their streaming platforms. And it's just like it's just this digital ecosystem, this snake of them. It's like I don't know. It's just a really when you really stop to think about it and read about it, and most people don't. I would just get upset that I don't have that movie anymore. Most people probably feel that way. But I mean, you know, they have a massive library, like Studio Canal. Like they have a massive library of film and TV, and these 551 things are a part of an expiration batch that are just like, yeah, it's gone. It's which is really it really sucks because the physical media world, Ronald, I know you're our guy with physical media, and the money that they spend to buy these movies in some ways is so much less than buying the physical media, like significantly less in a lot of cases. So they go that route, but in the end, if there's a chance or a likelihood that that license is going to run out, which most people have no clue that that's what's happening.
right.
You should have just went and bought the digital one if like. You should have went and bought the physical media if you really wanted to keep. And that's kind of the lesson that people are learning.
Yeah,
But the catch 22 is what you were just saying, which is like eventually they're not going to offer it. A lot of things don't
yeah.
even come out on physical media
Yeah.
anymore.
No, that's a huge story
Hmm.
too.
You hear movies that are like huge hits, and you hear filmmakers kind of banging the drum like to get a 4K release or to get a
Yeah,
blue. Like they'll intentionally insert that idea into the PR cycle, even if it wasn't the studio's plans
yeah.
to make it
There's a
happen.
there's
Yeah.
a big one that's coming out in late July
Is it?
because what were you gonna
Yeah,
say?
no, I was gonna guess what it was.
Guess.
Is it Barbarian?
Yes.
Yeah,
And
it's
so,
a perfect example of him
perfect
talking about
example.
it constantly.
Talk about it constantly.
Yep.
It took years to come up. People are
Yeah.
bootlegging it,
Yeah.
having these like custom covers,
It's
bootleg.
wild. It's
They were
wild.
doing whatever they could, and then eventually the studio's like, "Look, there's enough bootleg circulating that we can sell, some copies." So it's coming
Yeah.
out on physical finally
Yeah.
after several years. Like it's and
Yeah,
it
that's so
normally
crazy to
takes it.
me that that one didn't. I mean, I knew
Yeah,
that story, but it's still crazy to me that it would
depressing,
not
man.
be.
It's depressing.
But I
And
mean, no,
so
none of these movies are not available on some streamer. I guess some of them might be unavailable anywhere temporarily, but most of those are movies that are still on other platforms. But
yeah,
there's no guarantee if you own Paddington on a different platform that that same licensing problem won't happen. So
Correct.
I mean, that's the part that's kind of crazy is that you would think, oh, I got it on Amazon. I'm safe. I got it on, I mean, I don't know what is the streamer most likely to keep licenses going? Do
Well,
you
it's
think?
it's the one that owns the IP, and in a lot of those cases, they are pointing you towards their streaming platform if they're still
Right.
alive.
But
You know?
yeah,
remember when, well, I guess that was, again, I don't know when these things overlap and stuff, but particularly like looking at Disney Plus,
Yeah.
using the like Star Wars or Marvel movies there, they seem to kind of rotate out. Like there's certain ones that they don't have that other streamers will have.
Right.
And it is like, I mean, it does seem like at some point the big things like that you expect to be somewhere. I don't know
Yeah.
if I have yet to find a movie that I was looking for that I just absolutely could not find anywhere. But
Cocoon.
oh,
Yeah.
Cocoon
There's a lot.
Cocoon is honestly the biggest one that I know about.
Cocoon is the
That,
only one like this. I was
but
like,
that's
where
the
the
biggest movie I can think of that I am shocked is like that hard to find. Like there's other
yeah,
movies that I love or that are cult classics that I'm not surprised or whatever. But Cocoon
yeah,
was a studio hit, I
yeah,
think,
big one.
and it's directed by Ron Howard and it's full of stars. It's like
But
it's
that's all
crazy.
like
It's crazy that it is like falling through the cracks of those licensing, fucking distribution, whatever deals.
that's exactly what it gets in is that like who's the producer of that movie, and it's like who owns what, and that's all it comes down to is like what they do or don't want out there, and people hold it up intentionally to make people like uh like come to the table to renegotiate things that never get renegotiated because you made the wrong play, kind of thing. But no, totally. Like, yeah, you think about those things, and it's definitely it's a weird and means to an end. Like when you have something like even that's so successful, and in what world would you not want to have it available still?
Right.
To
Right.
buy in some form or fashion. Like forever, like, oh, well, not forever, but like you hear all these things now, like they reissue things are finally coming out. Like what was the one, like True Lies? Like, like I always mentioned on this podcast, that movie Rad that I was obsessed with as a kid.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that has found love in the last 5 to 10 years where they finally released something
Yeah.
through Vinegar Syndrome. And like that's something that was like I had hunted that VHS as a child, as a teen, and as a grown man,
Wow.
and never got it. It exists, but I
Right.
never could find one. But I never had a copy of that movie, and it's one of my favorites from growing up as a kid. Finally got it 5 years, 10 years ago,
Wow,
and it's
man.
because people do want the physical things. But that's an example of something where it's like weird producer stuff like prevented the movie from ever being made on a physical media beyond that VHS release that initially came out in the 80s, and then that was it. That's why they're like 50 or $150 on eBay because like they're
Yeah.
real, and that's
Right.
the only ones that there were. I don't know. It's a weird thing. I mean, I don't really purchase a lot of digital stuff personally. Every once in a while I will, like if there's some crazy deal through different platforms for like series and sets and things like that.
Mm.
Like the Jackass one that I sent you recently I grabbed, but like just mostly like I'll rent something because if I want to watch it, I'll watch it. And if it's something I gotta have, I'll maybe go buy the physical one when like a special edition comes out for like my favorite movies. Those kinds of things become a priority at that point. But I don't know. It sucks to see things like that because a lot of people have no clue. Like most people, I'll say, not some, have no clue how that works, and the idea that I just bought something, it's not yours forever.
Right.
In these
Right.
digital ecosystems, like it's yours while they have a license to still let you keep it. That's what
Right.
it comes down to, which is really kind of shitty and kind of sleazy. I don't know. It's a
You
weird.
know, Wilford Brimley was 51 when he made. Well, no, he turned 50 while making Cocoon.
Yeah.
Just, I'm just a little note to anyone in my age demographic.
Jeez.
That
Yeah.
he's playing, but he did play. Here's something that I don't know that is commented on: is he was like in makeup, like they did make him look older for that movie because he was acting with older actors. And I do think with the plot of that movie being, this is the thing that kind of rejuvenates you, it
Right.
probably helped to have somebody be a little bit younger that, you know, that could play the little spry. Although I
Sure.
can't remember, did he go through the process? I think he did in the movie. I can't remember which. There's some old folks that decided not to do the alien rejuvenation process. But I remember the offer from the aliens to take all of the senior citizens off into space. And Wilford Brimley's explaining it to someone, and he says, "We won't get any older, and we won't ever die."
It's a good impression. Oh man. Yeah, so I guess what I wanted to bring up in the same talks about physical copies, digital copies, is, there's been, I'd say in the past 10, 15 years, a growing community of people that uh, self collect. I mean, they host their own files through several platforms, Plex being one of the most
Oh yeah.
popular. And I think that it is the most popular for a couple of reasons. The versions on each platform are very stable. Um, and recently they actually opened their API for free for you to develop your own apps and possibly make money from it for out of the kindness of their heart. But then also the cost of the lifetime membership has gone from 250 to 750, $500 more as a result of that. And you know, what's happened is in those years since Plex has kind of taken off, there have been some other platforms that are, I won't say direct competition, because Plex's aggregation is second to none. Like literally, you point to a folder. Plex knows 99% of the things in it.
Yeah.
But there was from this competition came MB. MB was a paid service that was very popular. And then people realized that they did not want to pay for that. And then a side project came called Jellyfin that's become very popular in the past 6 months, mostly because of the news of, you know, I'd say the principles that Plex kind of started on changing a little bit, I'd say, you know. And so what people have been moving to is completely open source, free to use, completely. All you need is a laptop or a computer or a server that has a built-in computer that can run these things. And people are hosting their own servers. And the reason being is they can have control over their media. They can control, you know, what's there, what gets deleted, what doesn't, and you can have a digital copy of your stuff. You can rip it, you can find it on. There's quite a few sites that give you like full copies of things. Vimeo being one of them, and people are getting whole versions of movies that they could put on their server in order to host it. And make it accessible to friends and family
Yeah.
and things like that. So it's been a strange leap in the past couple years. Like it's gone from like not that many people do it to quite a few people doing it, and then Plex being like, more people are doing it. Let's charge people out the ass for it. It's a strange culture that's kind of come about in this kind of digital. And then hard drives cost more than anything now. Like it's like hard drive sales are insane. One hard drive costs $200, right? It used to cost 50 or sixty
Yeah.
dollars. Now it's like,
I was
you know,
wondering if I was imagining that had
no,
happened.
man.
It had gone
It's
up.
Everything computer related. It's just
yes, and because
absurd. Chips,
yeah,
everything.
Everything. And they're saying that the next the next video game systems are gonna cost at least $1,000. One of the casualties of that is the Steam machine, which is Valve has a pretty cheap sort of open source. We're not going to charge you a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Steam decks have gone from 250 to 750, 850, and then the Steam machine, which is their desktop PC system, which is supposed to be like direct competition to the PlayStation and the Xbox, is $1,000. And to some people doesn't work nearly as well as the Xbox and PlayStation. It's just not as optimized yet. It will be, but so I only say that because the shift is happening. The shift is happening. People are trying to have copies of things themselves rather than relying on the digital markets. So, you're a fellow
Yeah.
plexer like me. How you feeling about this?
I feel really good that I bought it about 13 years ago at $75.
You're lucky. You're so
Yeah,
lucky. I
yeah.
still didn't buy my lifetime, man.
I remember sending like the sales to
You
you all the
did.
time, trying to get you to get
You
it because like this
did.
shit's never going to be cheap forever. But yeah, I got it for $75 probably in
Oh
like
my goodness.
2013.
So smart.
Yeah, but I mean, it feels really crappy that they're doing it. But when you really think about what they're doing, they're really trying to indirectly eliminate the lifetime pass. Like
Yes.
they don't want people buying
Yes.
like a one-time fee lifetime thing really in a business model like should not exist anymore. You know,
Yeah.
because
I
of what you
agree.
just said, like escalating prices of development, of the
Mm.
hardware, the server, everything that runs this service, this platform that people love. And I do love Plex. Like I've mentioned it many times on the podcast. I remember our favorite things of the year episodes we used to do at the end of the year, like what I'm most grateful for, Thanksgiving, whatever they were, talking about Plex multiple times because it was like the game changer for me in
Yeah.
like 2012 ish and or 13, and it was just like it's been worth everything. And again, like I'd pay more than I did because I rely on it massively. But yeah, like what they're trying to do is they're trying to get people away from this one-time fee thing to to instead move over to their monthly options, which is like 6.99 a month, or the annual plan is 69.99. So, and I think they have a 5-year plan that's 250, which is what the price of the lifetime was, prior to this change. But I mean, they're trying to like help people bridge this gap between like I don't want to pay 750. Like no one in their right mind is going to probably pay that right now, unless I mean, I don't know, maybe some people did, but I just think the service is going to change so much. And like, why commit to that if things are happening like what you just described, which is other platforms are kind of coming up because of the rise of this kind of ecosystem. And, I think it's really smart sort of them. And I know it doesn't go over well when people see that massive hike,
Right.
but I think the barrier to entry is still very low
Yeah, it
to
is. You're
buying a
absolutely.
Plex Pass because even if you paid the $7 a month thing, that covers not only what you want to do with it, but it covers, the people that are you're doing the remote sharing of everybody.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
if that person wants to watch your stuff and you don't have that, they have to pay $1.99 a
yeah,
month.
yeah,
So it's like there's definitely economies of scale in terms of deciding whether it's right or wrong, but I think Plex is a steal. However you try it or get
it's still
into
a
it,
steal. Yeah,
it's a steal. And the number of people that I know I share it with and like share our libraries with, like the access that we give them, um, is very appreciated, but it's also like it saves them a ton of money. So it's like, I don't know. It
yeah,
sucks to see that number, but when you really think about what they're doing, they're just moving to a monthly or an annual model like most businesses have.
yeah,
It's not really normal anymore to have these, lifetime things. And
yeah,
usually you get that when you're at the beginning of something like
yeah.
like I did.
Yeah, you
But
get the
like,
money. Yeah,
yeah,
they're trying to stack up as much money as they can.
exactly. Early adopter and
Yeah,
you get a bit of a benefit. But I think Plex is amazing. I would say I haven't tried the other ones that you mentioned with because I really do feel like I don't think I'd ever leave Plex unless it really like screwed something up,
Yeah.
or I couldn't.
Well,
It was not as easy as it is
I was gonna
still.
I was gonna say something, man. That actually brings me to a point because I'm running them concurrently and
Right,
they don't interfere with each other.
right.
Jellyfin is a lot less of a memory hog,
Mm,
and it can run concurrently and they don't interfere with each other. It doesn't perform the performance. It doesn't affect the performance of either one. So
yeah,
that's always suggested. Like it's a backup. Like say if sometimes Plex goes down for a second. Like they're like, oh, we're doing some maintenance. The
yeah,
server's going down for a second. You can always point people like, hey, my Jellyfin's up. You can access it that way. And Jellyfin has plugins, which are really cool. They kind of make it very open for you to add things to it. So, like for example, um, my Jellyfin has on each poster it has the resolution. So
Oh,
like if you
cool.
if you want a 4K, I have all my 4Ks and 1080Ps in one folder. But if you want to watch it in a different format, if you want to watch it in it has the label and the languages that it has, kind of little icons. So little things like that. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Plex is the definitive one, man. Like it really does. One of the things that it does that a lot of people don't know, that's like a very extra thing that people don't think about is it makes accessing Plex remotely easy. It
Yeah.
tunnels that stuff out. It does all that work for you. So the server work, it takes care of that for you. So that's an extra.
That's the big difference, right?
That's a huge
Yeah,
difference.
like Jellyfin, like what I had heard from a friend that did it. I know you're doing it also, but
Yeah.
that like, it's basically pretty much like all manual, especially the networking stuff. Like you're doing
So
it all
manual.
yourself. Yeah.
So manual. And Plex, you just hook it up. Like you can literally take a 20-year-old PC, sign into it, hook up a hard drive, and then you got a Plex server, and it works like a charm. Like it's
Mm,
crazy. It's crazy.
yeah,
And
I
that's
love it.
kind of the barrier to entry that people talk about. It's very small, very easy to set up. So lifetime bothers me that it's gone up to 750 and I should have gotten it within the time.
So
But
what do you do? Do you do the annual or the
I do the
the
$6 a month, man.
okay, the monthly one?
I
Okay.
don't. I eventually I'm gonna just. I'm on a lifetime at some point. I don't know why I'm so stubborn about this. I'm stubborn, man.
Well, the lifetime, like if you buy the annual one, I was reading someone said like you'd have to, if you buy the annual one, you'd have to 11 years would be when you would benefit from buying the lifetime one.
Okay.
Like 11 years of the annual fee. Where if you buy the
Huh.
5 years, it's 15 years clearly because it's 750. But it's like
Yeah.
it just comes down to like if you think in that much time that your
Yeah.
money is not used better elsewhere, it's
Yeah.
okay to continue to pay the monthly thing,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
especially
For
like if you
sure.
decide one day, hey, I'm going to jump over to Jellyfin because I like it more.
Yeah.
You're not like out that money that you left on the table,
No.
which is why like
No.
the annual is better for some people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say any tier is worth it because I it's one of my favorite things that I've ever experienced. Configuring, customizing, talking
Yeah.
about, offering friends and family. Like it's an awesome, awesome application and platform.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Plex.
This
Seriously,
episode is
man.
brought to you by Plex.
Well, it
If you
started
go to
off though.
plex.tv slash movie schmovie, you'll get a 10% off your $750 lifetime subscription.
It started off like you were
I'm just kidding.
complaining about
That's not
the
legit.
price hike, but I feel like that makes it feel. That's how stealthy our sponsorship by Plex is that we were
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Right.
like
we
it's
kind
not
of
even
did
like we're doing a read.
we
We're
did a
just
little
like,
play around it.
yeah.
People, it's like, oh, these guys really mean it when they talk about it. They're not being
Yeah. Yeah.
shills. They're not being shills like I was a shill for Supergirl, I guess.
Yes, man, they've been killing you in the comments.
I didn't I stopped reading because I find that whole line of discourse so tedious.
When did you
Yeah.
decide to do that? I wasn't aware that you were a paid shill.
Yeah.
A paid shill by saying a movie was good but not good enough to shut up the haters. Boy, that's
Yeah.
such a shill thing to say.
I knew it was crazy when somebody's like,
Toast.
I had to delete some of the comments because it was
Oh no.
um, like, oh man, DC dick eating again. It's like,
Oh my God.
we eat dick because of this? It's like, come on, man. All of the rest of the comments, man, that the guy that went crazy about the Snyderverse, if you look at our
The
comments,
guy, that one guy.
He's the only one left.
Yeah.
he gotta calm down. He's like, everybody calls me a bitch because I love the Snyderverse. And I was like, man, I think you're great. Like, just keep it respectful. And he's like, you know what? People just call me that. No, it's not true. I just like the previous universe. I'm not trying to really shit on anything. I'm just
I did not get involved. I did take a peek when Ronald told me about what was popping off. But like I love the one person. I think it was the one that was calling you a show. Was like,
yes.
I think it was like somebody said. I'm trying to remember the context. It was something he got to a point eventually where he was like, apathy does not mean something.
Yeah.
Or like, I just don't care. I'm like, you clearly care enough.
Right. You're typing.
That you are here for a long time.
Yeah.
Shill's gonna shill.
Yeah.
That was the favorite.
Yeah.
Shill's gonna show, and then someone said hater's gonna hate. And he's like, not hate, apathy. And I was like, that's not what that means.
Yeah.
That's not what that means, friend. But that's when I just signed off.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not.
But I gotta thank everybody that comments, and man, it's cool that we have some engagement. For some reason, they went crazy about John just saying. John didn't say
Dude,
it was the greatest movie I've ever seen.
It's the DC stuff, man. It's like it's so polarizing.
It's crazy.
You step
man.
in it. We got to review. We got to talk about Taylor Swift's next thing because I'm sure now that we try to focus. Remember when that popped off too?
Yeah.
Like you just say something that's like positive but not enthusiastic, or that you didn't hate it.
Yeah. Right.
It's like
In this case, I was
extreme. You got to commit to one or the other. If you're not,
we want to beat you up because of it. You're shill.
John, but you are my favorite shill, so don't worry.
I would think that if I was a shill, I would do a better job of shilling.
Yeah.
You're in your infancy. You just got hired. Remember?
You're right.
You're just starting to do it.
I'm kind of a baby shill.
You're a little baby.
Yeah.
Little baby shilly. We call them shillies.
Yeah.
But also,
good
thank
stuff.
you to those people because now we can monetize our Facebook posts.
Yeah. It takes a lot of streams to start getting money, but let's start, man.
Yeah.
Let's start.
Okay.
It's really kind of sad that the only way to guarantee
Dude.
that level of engagement is to get caught up in whatever cyclone of toxic discourse there is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Welcome
Like-
to not that that's this, but anything you look at online, like clickbait stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's like that's all it is to get people arguing in the comments because that monetizes. It's just like, oh God, that's where we're at.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Well, sometimes it's like
where we are.
on like threads or whatever, you see a lot of that rage bait engagement. And I don't even know why, because what's the benefit on threads?
Yeah.
But like, it's like you realize even commenting, this is just rage bait and it's pathetic. It's like, well, I've just done exactly what they want me to do.
You just fell right into it.
So you have to kind of, and also you have to kind of question, okay, if I like too many of these responses, I know I'm telling my algorithm to show me more of this kind of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do occasionally have that issue. It's like, why is my algorithm showing me this? And then I look at the comments and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I get how I've forced this into my path. It's because I've liked a lot of snarky comments on a lot of bullshit posts.
Yeah.
And that means it's going to show me bullshit posts. But yeah, we got to say something really mild every episode that's going to piss off, Snyder Bros.
Yeah. Yeah. They got, man.
What could I say? Like, I think Zack Snyder probably. I bet he and James Gunn really appreciate each other as people, and they're probably pretty good friends. And I bet that Zack Snyder's really happy for James Gunn, and I bet Zack Snyder doesn't even want to work on any more DC movies. He's like, I couldn't even do it as well as my buddy James Gunn. Okay, be sure to
Sound
clip
the alarm.
that.
There it goes.
God. Here we go. Here we go. I'm going to clip the shit out of that.
Clip it up. We are part of the clip culture.
It's like,
I kept it mild.
they're like, I know. I just know what they're going to be like, man. So did you saute DC's dick that you're about to eat this time? It's like, man,
how do you prefer to prepare the dick before you eat it?
Sous vide.
Sous vide. Yeah.
Do you like your rice al dente with that dick that you're about to eat? It's like, come on, man. Like, why does Dick always get into the conversation about liking something? It's so funny.
Yeah, you're glazing
Yeah,
somebody, or you're sucking their dick, or you're. It's just an easy thing to go to. I don't know.
Really is.
And it's so funny, man.
I mean, it's an easy thing to go to, and I don't even. It's kind of like. I mean, in a sense, it's kind of homophobic that's like an insult.
it is, but
You know? But it's still sometimes like the most powerful thing you could say to certain people is like,
yes.
"Oh, eat
yes.
a dick" or something like that. You know, it's just like there's it's the bluntness of it. I think it's the bluntness of it,
Yeah.
and the rudeness of it, perhaps.
Yeah.
It's downright rude.
It's just rude. It's so funny though, man. I've never not heard it and started. Like it's such a weird thing to say. Glazing by itself is crazy, but
Okay, here's the thing that I guess we're gonna go here. Glazing
There goes the
makes me
algorithm.
think of glazing makes me think of something else that I can't believe. I can't believe.
okay.
I can't believe that modern youngsters call hot dogs glizzies.
Yes.
That's obscene.
And listen.
That's obscene.
If you eat a glizzy, you're a glizzy guzzler.
See, that's what I mean. I don't ever want to be. I want to have like a veil that I put over my head if I'm because that guy's eating a hot dog. Okay, that guy's guzzling a glizzy. I've just assumed
and
hide behind a curtain.
If you eat the hot dog too fast, and like, man, you just taking a glizzy to the face. You're like,
That's a glizzy gladiator.
right?
I've seen that. I've seen that mentioned in videos
Right.
before. When they eat them, like when they're like speed eating,
Yeah.
like that's what they call them.
That's what this is Sparta. This is
Good God,
a true gladiator of the glizzy.
this has gone sideways, and I'm okay with it.
Oh man.
You know who loves to guzzle a glizzy is Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
There it is. That's
That
the
makes
clip.
sense.
That's the clip.
I'd be like, oh,
No, I mean his buddy
chills.
James Gunn grills a glizzy for Zack Snyder. And Zack Snyder comes over and says, "Hey, I'd like to guzzle Gunn's glizzy." Say that 3 times fast.
Right.
Oh,
Good times.
hot dogs. Hey, it's 4th of July weekend. That was actually a
Hey,
very
there's
appropriate
a hot dog.
topic.
Yeah,
There we
people
go.
gonna be guzzling all
Guzzling.
kinds of glizzies.
I love how you like. They got a little choked up there.
Some of them under the fireworks are gonna be guzzling glizzies, which is crazy.
With gusto.
With gusto.
All right.
Good stuff. All right.
Yeah.
So what's next? We got John's required viewing pick. John, you want to remind
Yes.
Yes,
everyone?
this
What you chose?
is a film by Congolese filmmaker Jean-Luc Herbelot. And it is I guess it is language-wise, it's a mix of French and Wolof, I guess, which is perhaps is set in Senegal, but I don't know. Again, I don't know exactly. It's showing as the countries are Senegal and France.
Yeah.
That kind of lay claim to this film. So it is an international production, and I don't even really know how I ended up finding it. Maybe I put in maybe I was looking for specifically different countries, different continents, like horror output or genre output, and I may have ended up in kind of a rabbit hole of African horror when I ended up seeing this one. And because I know that I'd read descriptions of lots of movies before I got to this one, and it sounded really good. And I was attracted to the fact that it's a recent film.
Yeah.
As many of my films that I choose are older. So I don't know, there was just a lot going for it. And then when I watched the trailer and it looked really kind of cool, I was like, oh, that seems like I was suddenly very interested in watching it. So then it seemed like a shoe-in for this. But I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed I had a little bit of I don't know, distraction or something around the midpoint of the movie that I was watching it and I was like, I'm going to go back and watch it from about the point where I remember getting distracted and watch the whole thing again from that point. It's a short enough movie. It's 85 minutes. And so I watched it from around the time that the reveal happens, Shaka's reveal of his true mission, what he's really doing there. And I really, the second half even played better once I sort of knew what the parameters of the thing were. I would say the first time through, I really did feel almost like a bifurcation in the middle of the movie. Like it was a Western kind of pastiche at the beginning, and then it becomes a horror movie in the second half. But I think the second time I watched it, I was able to see all the little ways that the reveals about Shaka's story, just that it becomes this thing where what he goes through in the second half is heavily informed by not just his past, like his past informs what he does. And then the fact that he sought revenge in that way is what kind of informs the second half of the movie, where it's almost like the cosmic balance still has to be satisfied. And like, you know, I mean, in a true horror movie fashion, I think punishing the hero at the end of the horror movie is a kind of a great tradition. And often the ones that I like the best are the ones that have the guts to do that, to be like, oh, this person essentially made it out, but because this is a horror movie, they're going to not make it out.
Just before.
Yeah. And I think that is like, you know, that I just thought that was all really well handled. And, you know, I also think the characters really popped in this movie for me. Like, I started to think, oh, I like, you know, when you start thinking of certain characters by name midway into a movie, like Rafa, I was just really digging Rafa's whole thing. I loved his, I don't know, he just had a cool vibe. And then there's this really nice moment later in the movie where Rafa lets Shaka know that he forgives him for hiding the truth of their mission because of what he went through. And they kind of press their foreheads against each other. They have like this actually really intimate moment like that's like them acknowledging, you know, he basically saying, I'm sorry that happened. I'm sorry about what happened to you or something. Anyway, I just thought it was full of little touches like that. And even the beginning, like I liked Omar. I liked the little setup he had in his little camp where you come in and you work off your stay or whatever. You see how it could become a form of keeping people in servitude, but you also see how it could be like a communal society. And then to find out that guy is, you know, awful and has a terrible past, but has reinvented himself as this benevolent figure. I just thought that was good storytelling and good. You know, the first half reminded me of Hateful Eight.
Yeah, I was going to say that reminded me of the same.
And the second half was like A Quiet Place meets Attack the Block. Just in the sense that you have like the sound thing going on, and also that the creature, the swarm effects, they're not like the greatest effects in the world or anything, but it's otherworldly enough, and you don't really know what it's supposed to be. I thought at first, is that like locusts or bugs or something? But if you looked at it, it almost looked like ash swarming around.
Yeah, it did look like ash.
It created an otherworldly thing, which I would say in general, there are moments in this movie that looked really good and moments that looked really muddy, and like the photography was pretty good overall, but there are some moments where it was like, you know, it was kind of ugly almost with how muddy it would be, that digital photography. But I feel like, and again, something about watching that second half a second time really allowed me to get into more of the same kind of character stuff going on. So I was a little bit less thrown off by the sort of limits of the effects. But at no point did I think it felt like it was losing its story thread or losing the kind of important emotional stuff that was going on between the characters. And plus the music was kind of cool. I don't know. There's just a lot that was cool about this movie that kept me engaged. And if the worst thing about it are the kind of digital effects, and I'm generally not a fan of when they drop frames from flashbacks to make them look kind of slow motion-y or whatever. When they take, like, I like it when they shoot, if you're gonna do slow-mo, I like it when you shoot slow-mo, you know, like rather than like slowing it down or dropping frames. So those flashback, I just didn't like the way that footage looked, but I thought overall the structure of the way the story was told and the kind of weaving together of some imagery from the past with now, like for instance, when Shaka is killing Omar and he's walking towards him with the gun out, and then it just cuts to him as a boy doing that, and Omar, instead of fighting it off and ducking away, he takes the gun and actually aims it at his own forehead. And then when you cut to the present day, you see that Omar's actually like kind of cowering and jumping back. And I just thought that kind of thing was really cool.
Yeah,
and I think it kept kind of almost wowing me with little touches like that. And, you know, I'm a sucker for this kind of story. I love the idea that they're these guys that people tell stories about, and some people see them as heroes, and some people say they're cannibal monsters and ghosts or whatever that opening intro said. So I thought that was a cool setup for them. It almost felt like a Guy Ritchie kind of thing to have all that text up on the screen and stuff. So yeah, I think it was a really interesting movie. You'd said you'd seen it before, Ronald, right?
Yeah, Fantastic Fest.
And so last week I couldn't tell. You did a good job of hiding your feelings when you said, "Oh, I've seen that." I was like, "Oh, wait a minute." I couldn't tell. Was this a good I've seen that or a bad I've seen that?
Lockdown 2022. We did a cool thing and took advantage of the situation, and we applied for a bunch of festivals that were doing a virtual arm of this. We should maybe keep doing that.
I think people started to phase
weird,
out
though,
the virtual.
Like, yeah, that's it. They've done a very good effort to phase out what's available during the virtual. It's like basically nothing now.
Yeah,
or very, very few, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt. Good.
And Fantastic Fest 2022 was this movie. It featured this movie before it got distribution in Shudder. It didn't look quite like it does now. I mean, it feels like they changed the color. The color grading is a lot better. But yeah, I saw this movie in its raw form in 2022 and was blown away. Like it had, it was genre bending. Like, people talk about that a lot, but like this was genre bending. It had a little bit of everything, and like you said, like it felt like this ensemble of mercenaries. They were doing this crazy. I mean, everybody had like a cool thing to them, like, a look to them. They all acted their asses off, and when they met new people, it felt like they weren't anything like them, even though they may have known them in their town or something. Like it was everybody felt unique, and I kind of love what cinema from other places can bring to us. It's like this idea that I just like the way those stories are told, and this one in particular was fun. The visual of the ash or whatever didn't bother me until it really got into like the daylight. That's when it really started to get strange. At night it looked spectacular, like otherworldly,
or like in a shadowy area or whatever. They were good at hiding it, kind of.
Yeah, daylight, but I think they kind of knew that. I think they kind of knew that once it got into the light. But that also is, it's like that thing with, that famous line from The Green Room. It's like things look different. You look different in the light or whatever that line is.
You're much scarier at night or much scarier in the dark?
Yeah.
In the dark, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like you would say that to the effects in this film? You would say you guys were much... If that swarm was coming through you in the daytime, you'd say... You were much scarier in the dark.
And then it eat me down the bones. And
well, that's what's wild is it didn't eat you.
Yeah, it did.
The rules of the beast were really wild because it doesn't really eat you. It kind of makes you explode with blood,
Yeah.
And then if you hear it, it makes it work faster. Is that what you kind of got from that? Because it seemed like it could still hurt you.
I think so.
If it kept attacking you and you didn't get away. And also it reacts to gunshots and swords and stuff like that. Like it's trying to avoid that. I guess if it's reacting to the sound, maybe the sound is really loud. But yeah, I felt like that was a little vague, but I think they did a pretty good job of making me feel like, oh, it's just this weird thing. It's kind of like a demonic force. I like the way that killing Omar is like the midpoint where, okay, that story's resolved almost, but now the curse is enacted because this is the guy who was protecting everybody from the curse. You just killed as part of this other storyline, you just killed the guy who was actually keeping this demonic force from attacking everybody.
Yeah.
I just thought that was a cool, that's the kind of storytelling that you almost wouldn't think of, or you would almost not try that. You'd be like, well, I need to set up the demon. I need to set up the supernatural part earlier in the story. I think that's maybe the gamble this movie takes, is that some people might might be really into the first part and not ready quite for the second part. But again, watching it the second time, it felt much more organic of a shift. Like, oh, this really is like almost keying off of the heightened emotions of the characters, because it just became a super tense situation, but it's still a really simple like escape narrative. I mean, I always like the we're not trying to change this or fix this. We're just trying to get the hell out of here kind of story.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I think the shift in I thought the first half was really good.
yeah.
Like I thought, or the first two acts, but and I didn't dislike the last piece, but I feel like that shift at the end is kind of what made it too complicated for me. I think
Yeah,
that like that last half is so heavy on like the mythology or the lore, and there's a lot of exposition in it that I think like the way the first half operates, like John, you were saying, like the Western vibe, or even like really just like more of like a thriller, like it felt more like a
yeah,
thriller that first half, or a combination of the two. And I dig the shifts between the genres, especially going towards literal monsters at the end of the movie. But I don't know, I just felt like it happening when it did, and then there's just so much. uh I don't know, just there's just too much going on at the end for me, where it definitely took me out a bit of the movie. I mean, in the end, I still dug it. I still liked it, and I do remember this being talked about back at these film festivals years ago when you mentioned it, Ronald. I went and found one of my Apple Notes, and it was on one of the lists, like when we were like building out the virtual movies that we were trying to watch. I never got to
yeah.
see it during that festival, but it's funny that you chose it, John. But I did like it. I did think it was really good. I just felt like I'd almost would have preferred to see, uh, the movie kind of play out more without that final tonal shift, because I felt like the thriller element of it was working really well. And if it just maybe proceeded with that, uh, that escape element with keeping in that lane, I don't know, maybe it wouldn't have worked, or maybe it wouldn't. There was not enough there to keep it going, that was maybe the reason for that decision, but it's still
no, no.
cool. Like
I
it
think
still
you're right though.
works.
It almost feels like the reason to do the genre bending thing is to be bold, or
Hmm.
is to be surprising. But I don't know that it. I mean, the idea that it taps into some kind of folklore that I'm not familiar with, but that is a real like legend of
Totally.
that king or
Yeah.
whatever. So I
Yeah.
do, again, I almost feel like maybe if that had been, yeah, it's tough to know. Like if you tip something like that off, it feels more integrated, but it also takes away from the surprise. So I
Yeah.
wonder if there could have just been a more, I mean, in the line of what you're saying, if it could have just been a more subtle kind of sense of like, you're cursed now because
Yes.
you killed this guy, and it's more
Exactly.
like the people believe that this guy was like, it's almost like you're afraid of the cultists, or you're afraid of the people, you know what I mean? Like
Yes. Yes.
you could have kept it grounded and still gone to this place of what the fuck are these weird people doing out in this outpost or whatever, that like there, it's like
Sure.
Apocalypse Now kind of, where there's almost like a
Yes.
cult built around this guy,
Yeah. Yeah. Something
I
like
mean,
that
so
might
I
work.
I do wonder if that would have felt more like, if this movie wouldn't be just like amazing if it had managed to keep it somewhat grounded, but still go to that slightly even kind of horror-ish place, but it could be a slightly less openly supernatural form of horror. But yeah, I think I still liked the little moments that we get between the characters in that last bit. There's some
Yeah.
good stuff there, but it's nowhere near as compelling as the beginning, where you're really kind of figuring it out. And like looking back, certain things that almost don't make sense the first time through, like when Shaka starts going into his kind of speech at the table, and you see that Rafa is reacting to him like, what's he saying here? The first time through, I was like, wait, does he not know what he's saying? Like why is he saying this thing that his friends don't know about? But now it's obvious. It's like they did not know why he had them fooled too, as far as why they were
Yeah.
there. So I think all that stuff, yeah, that stuff works really well without too much exposition. And in the last half, you kind of need maybe a few too many shouted facts about what's going on to really get it. Um, but yeah, really glad I checked it out.
Yeah. It's a good pick.
So Ronald,
Back to you.
Oh shit. Uh, Well, let me see. I like to do my new stuff just so we can stay tapped in. But let's see. Let's see, damn it. Um, this one, let me see. Let me see if I can put a brand new flavor in here. All right. This one is, I gotta do it. No, you know what? I'm not. Yeah, I'm gonna do it just
You
because
know
I'm
what,
gonna.
Ronald? You are right now the living embodiment. You know the meme, the woman that's like tasting something and she's going like, not good. Oh no, maybe it's not so. Oh
Yeah,
no, this is
yeah.
terrible. You're the living embodiment
I
of that
want to
meme.
do this. I want to do this so I don't have to talk about it today, so that you guys could talk about it next week. Uh, a very cool movie that did not do very well in the theater, made about $500,000 total, and is being rushed to digital. But I need you guys to see it. Need you guys to see it. It is The Furious.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
The Furious is coming out on digital next Tuesday. And so yeah, we record Thursday. I want you guys to see it. That is a required viewing. And I want you guys to see Ass Kickery. That's why I want you guys to see Ass Kickery.
Kombucha girl is the meme that I was trying to think of.
Kombucha.
People
Okay.
don't know. Do you know the one I'm talking about, Ronald?
Um, mm,
She
no,
likes
let
it.
me.
She doesn't like it. She likes it. She thinks it might be all right. Oh no, it's terrible. It's the succession of strong reactions that people have applied to like 97 different things.
But there's an issue, John.
What?
I'm starting to think that you don't like me as much. Sorry.
Not bad.
Oh man, I saw a movie.
Tell us about a movie.
Can't figure out why it affected me so much. And maybe I know why. I know why. I think I didn't want to be a part of the hype train. I really didn't want to be a part of the hype train. It swept me up, man. And I'm glad like a couple things. Glad I didn't watch anything. I didn't really listen to anything about this movie. And I watched it before it kind of came out on digital and everybody's kind of now showing more clips of it. Um it is the Curry Baker Barker horror film Obsession, which
Tell me about this. I haven't heard about this.
you ever heard about the have you seen it? Have you heard of it? Have you ever seen it? I don't want to talk about the plot because I don't want to I think what I want to do is I want people to just watch the fucking movie.
I think they already have.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have. It's
A lot of
broken
people,
records and things.
but a lot of people haven't yet. A lot of
That's
people haven't
also
yet.
true.
No,
Two
but you're
things
right.
can be true at the
This
same time.
segment is for people that didn't want to get on the obsession hype
Yeah,
train.
yeah.
You know?
There's some people
You
that didn't want to.
waited. Yeah, you waited the what is it, 45-day window or
You waited
60-day
the 45
window,
window.
and
So
you're
this
on the
is like a
second
new
wave.
feature called the hype caboose.
Yeah, the hype
Yeah,
comes.
it's bringing it up. Got it.
I think the less you know about this movie, the better. I think that it works better that way. But I think that people are just giving the movie away because they're assholes and they feel like if they've seen something, they have to lord over you and tell you things. That's like a thing that people do. They like to lord over you with these things.
Snake
But
pose.
snake. But the short version of this is there's a gentleman bear who has a circle of friends and really likes a girl named Nikki and uh, finds out about
I love how Ronald's talking about this like he saw a movie like months before it came out. Like we haven't talked about it 2 times on the podcast already. But I love how we all have had our moment to like praise
Yeah,
the
we've had
movie.
Yeah,
three
So
different
so this
waves.
again,
Yeah.
yeah.
this is like it's a movie about a guy.
No, I like the idea that this is for the
My God.
people. This is for the people that have been resistant up to this point.
There has
It's
been,
for,
man.
it's
There's
for
a
the
ton of
it's for those that trust Ronald the most. This
Yeah.
is the
yeah,
time to
yeah.
listen right now.
They've waited. They were like, you know
Ronald's
what?
here. He's
John
chiming
John
in.
said he and his son liked it, but I don't know. I'm gonna wait.
I
Steve said
don't
he
know.
liked it, but I don't know.
Well,
Those guys are a
It's
couple of glizzy guzzlers.
Glizzy,
They're just always glazing the latest glizzy that comes out in the theaters.
glizzy guzzling horror hoarders. The guys love horror, so like I love horror too. But I'm late on this train, man, and yeah, I gotta say, man, it's one of those things that kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. I watched it in the dark. I took it in without too many distractions, and it really was one of those experiences that I felt nasty after I watched it just because it gets so fucking brutal. But I really took a lot from it. It's there's this thought that young people can't make good films just because. Well, what is the reference? What is the life that they've lived that they can't, But I think what's
Right.
happening is they're kids that have been holding cameras since they were kids and watching movies and clips of movies and are able to take things that are referential, but then also create new things as well. And there's this is a star maker movie. Like this, it is. There's two leads. These are two people who are virtually unknown, but prior to this movie, and these are star making roles. Like I don't know anything that I've seen where I feel like the acting has done such heavy lifting in a horror film the way that this feels like. It's a lot of face acting. It's a lot of emotion. It's a lot of reactions, and some of the reactions aren't quite what you think they're going to be. You think that when you see something really horrific that somebody's just going to jump out of the window, when sometimes like it's so horrendous that your brain is just kind of like, what the fuck am I? I think that that's one of the cool things about it. Although there's a lot of heightened shit to this,
Yeah.
there is some groundedness to it. It's like a lot of things in one movie, and it feels like the gift is the acting, and that's one of the things that I don't hear quite as much. I hear about how crazy the movie is, how original it is. I don't hear so much about how these two did the heavy lifting and how
Yeah.
it really relies on acting more than anything else for this to become a very believable, grounded enough, because it is dealing with a lot of crazy elements, for this to feel as personal to everybody, and I think that's what's really cool about it. Everybody I've talked to is talking about it like it's their baby, which is to say that maybe this thing takes on a life of its own because we all have a story of maybe somebody that had is it called unrequited? Unrequited is it's like that's the one-sided one, right?
Yeah, unrequited is, I don't know. It's unrequited when you don't tell somebody or when it's not reciprocated.
I think it's when it's not. I think it's when it's not. I think it's
Yeah.
when it's not.
That's the same. That's right.
Okay. So like yeah. I think that people know that feeling, and they know. you
Sure.
know, it's a very familiar thing. We've all like maybe high school, like somebody that was super amazing for whatever reason, and you know, wish we could do something about it. And this movie provides this path that feels like a cautionary tale against, be careful with what you wish for, and be careful about how you think about people. And it's like you know people are more than just your desire for them. You know, they're full people with feelings and emotions. And when, I don't, he's not the, we've talked about this kind of today. I don't think Bear's the villain that everybody claims in the beginning. But when he starts to uh, exploit sort of the riches of some of
Yeah, like going along with things.
yeah,
Yeah.
the sex scene being one of the ones that I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at? It's like real. Oh man, it's like
Yeah, it's like
cringy.
there's no way around how
Yeah,
how
yeah,
awful the implications of that are, and just
yeah,
the
yeah.
situation itself. But I mean, just like what that puts you in mind of, and or like what the kind of real world analogy for that is
100%.
something that is obviously one of the biggest topics of our
Yeah.
time.
I love that a man wrote this, and it's like this perspective that a guy is taking on this really complex thing, because it feels like a lot of times when I see movies like this, typically women, it's like a women's perspective on this that I really enjoy. But it's cool to see a man kind of put his hat into like what thinking about a person in this way means. You know what I mean? Like it's a cool perspective that I think that should be exercised more. There should be more guys saying like, man, guys, we can be weird sometimes. We can do some weird shit and be exploitative and assholes, and women shouldn't be the only the only people that point these out. We are, you know, the arbiters of that sometimes. It's good, just good to hear, man. It's cool that this came from a dude who is giving this perspective. I was kind of blown away. I was like, did a lady help him write this? Like, I feel like it's like something
Well,
about
he
this.
even was offered more money if he made Bear more of a heroic character, and he didn't
Oh
want to do it. Yeah.
wow,
So
I
I
like
mean,
that.
just knew that just shows that he knew what story he was trying to tell.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
he
yeah.
didn't want to make it more conventional like that. But I'm trying to picture like how would you'd have to change so much to make that feel like that's the right ending. It wouldn't be the same movie.
Right. It wouldn't at all. It wouldn't at all. You
I mean,
have
there's a
to
version of the story where he's less toxic.
right, right.
But it's like it also doesn't sound like a very interesting movie if it's just
Yeah.
like about a guy who
Yeah.
uses a wish respectfully and
Yeah,
things
yeah.
don't get too crazy.
Yeah, it only becomes he only becomes like looks at this from a bigger view after he exploits the shit out of the
Oh, right. It's
situation.
really right at the end that
Yeah,
he
it's
seems like he has any
just
perspective at
then
all.
he's like, I'm gonna take advantage of this for as long as I can. For as it's then he's like, oh man, like I want you to be. Yeah, it was really crazy. I want to watch it again. Yeah,
I'm glad you
really.
liked it, man. Yeah, it's a pretty fun and special
Is it
one.
coming out with some kind of extended edition or unrated edition or something?
That's what it's supposed to be. I think the digital release is that.
So
Okay.
the Apple iTunes one is unrated supposedly, and it's
Mm.
not unrated on anything else. I don't know what that
Oh,
means.
oh,
I don't know what. I don't know if there's so I haven't bought it on that. I'm trying to figure out what the difference between the versions is, and no one said yet. And I don't know
oh,
if it's
wow.
just like by virtue of just the name,
Well, I saw
but
like some of this. I read like that unrated, at least the scene, is just like a longer scene of the car scene.
Okay.
Like is a
oh
big part of like
no,
why they had to cut it. Like he was talking about that when the movie first came out, was that scene was cut short to get an R rating, and that was going to be a part of it. And I've seen people posting that like apparently the scene's a little bit longer. It has more of that playing out. But I
oh
mean,
no,
that's
oh no.
that's apparently a part of it at least. I haven't seen the unrated version, so I don't know.
And Backrooms is coming back out in theaters with
Yeah,
an
with their
extended
longer.
version.
Yeah. And it's called something. It's called like backrooms for your like it's not backrooms for your pleasure. That sounds ridiculous. Sounds like I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I know it's got a certain yeah.
It's called Back It Up Rooms.
Uh, yeah, what is the? It's called Backrooms. Everything Must Go.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a. Oh yeah, interesting. I'm curious to know what the differences are. Somebody commented in one of these forums, "Oh, this is just the extra 15 minutes." Gotcha. What?
Okay.
Shut shut up. Shut up. It's like just 15 minutes.
Well, the
So,
physical one that I saw Cooper promoting, like the guy that he's Curry's buddy that they're like the duo that does the YouTube series, but he like was posting videos of him holding like the 4K release that comes out in a few weeks, and that's got like a director's commentary with Curry. It's got like a behind the scenes featurette and a bunch of other stuff.
well, I don't mean to brag, but I've accumulated about 30 something dollars with Gang Gang, and I think that's going to be my next pur- purchase.
Oh, there you go.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Now, do you have to use Gang Gang money on Gang Gang products? Because that's a different studio.
It is a different studio, isn't it?
Back
No.
rooms, back rooms is Gang Gang. Obsession is
I thought I thought
Focus.
I thought
Yeah.
Backrooms was coming out soon. No,
Oh,
it's
oh,
not.
it might,
I don't think it
but
is.
yeah, I don't
I
know.
think I got my wires crossed because we were talking about.
Yeah, because Backrooms is going back into theaters. But it hasn't
Yeah.
been announced for.
So there's a physical of what's them coming out
Obsession,
already?
Obsession.
Already?
It's like July 20th or
Oh my
it's in a
God.
couple weeks. Yeah.
Um,
And back to the conversation at the top of the show, it's like in that conversation right there, like if I'm am I buying the digital thing now,
mm.
or would I rather have that 4K? Like I want the director's commentary. Like I
And you'll
want
get the digital code with it.
right, exactly. So it's like why not
Why not wait a little bit?
that makes my decision for me. That kind of scenario is like that's where I'm at right now, where I'm like, oh yeah, I'd like to do that because
Yeah.
I don't know. That just makes yeah, July 14th it comes out.
That's really soon.
Yeah, 4K pre-order for July 14th release date. So
You think there's going to be a
it's
lot of obsession cosplay this Halloween?
well, I think Nikki's gonna be a big costume this Halloween for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
No, I was reading the box cover. It just says Obsession Unleashed, go behind the scenes, interviews with the Curry and the cast, and then feature commentary with director Curry Barker. And yeah, digital code is included to
See,
download or stream through Movies Anywhere.
that's a steal,
That's a
man.
steal. Like there's my decision right there.
There's a decision, and it's. I mean, if it were really far away, I'd be like,
Yeah, and I saw it in the theater. You
yeah,
know, I
yeah.
mean, I have seen it, so it's like if I do want to have that movie. So and that is one that I'll probably buy. So I'll buy the physical for them. All right. Anybody else see anything they want to mention? I really haven't watched. I
Neither.
mentioned to you guys I finally watched the Masters of the Universe. I thought that was a lot of fun.
I'm
Really
so
had fun
glad
with
you
that.
like
I
that.
really liked it. Um, I also wanted to mention. I don't know if either of you have watched The Sheep Detectives.
No, not yet.
No,
I almost did.
Loved it.
really.
Oh my God, what a surprise! Just a joy. A lovely film.
Yeah.
Emotionally resonant, funny, very funny, awesome, amazing cast. I saw somebody describe it like Paddington meets Knives Out, and it couldn't be more accurate.
Yeah, wow.
So if that could sell you, it sold me
Oh, that's
to,
so
and you know, I
man.
love the cast. I love Hugh Jackman. Um, Lord and Miller are producers on it. I think Craig Mazin was like one of the writers of the screenplay.
Yeah, he was.
It's your guys are gonna love it. It's great. It's a funny, sweet, just great little mystery movie with talking sheep. So Sheep Detectives was great. We all loved it.
Cool, cool.
Did you guys, John? Did you watch anything else?
But when I wondered if we were going to be doing a segment on X-Men 97, I watched a couple of those, the new ones.
I have not
I
watched
haven't
those
watched
yet.
that yet.
But I did not, I didn't know if it was worth mentioning since no one else brought it up. But
And now you
I will
know.
say, the cool thing about it is the first two, because I didn't really, I didn't really watch the last chunk. I just was like, I know people loved it, and I'd watched a couple
Yeah,
pieces,
yeah.
like Henry watched them, and so I watched pieces of them, And this time I just started, I'll just watch the new ones. And it really was kind of fun to see. Like, I think I get why this is working so well for people. It's because it really feels like it's pulling from all these corners of the comics and all the like tons of characters that you may never see show up in a live action movie.
Right,
Get
right.
a little time here. Types of character relationships that you may never see them pull off in a live action movie. It feels very comic booky, but it also feels very much like a cartoon. I mean, it's like it hits both of those things. There's lore from the comics, but the feel of it is all like, I think everyone is nostalgic for some form of some cartoon that's like this, where it's like a cool team going on missions and stuff. But the continuity
Yeah.
seems pretty strong. And the fun thing they did in the first two episodes that I appreciated was the opening sequence was very customized to the episode.
Oh.
So that, like, in the first episode, they are sort of
Yeah.
dealing with one group of characters in one team, and the opening sequence is really for that team. And then the second episode goes in a different. It's like it's almost like a one-off type thing that what they do with, like, oh, every time we meet a new team, we kind of see like their opening sequence in a way, and it was cool. It's just I was just like, oh, this is, as a guy who read a lot of the comics. Not the 90s comics as much as the 80s, but like this is still drawing a lot from that stuff. And it's just like, oh yeah, I like seeing the like the characters that pop up and the way that they kind of weave it all together. So I probably will end up watching this season just because I enjoyed the first two. I watched 2 out of the 3 that came out. So
Yeah, I can't wait to watch these. I love the first season.
Me too, man.
Cool. All
man,
right.
that
Well,
was dramatic, Ronald. Anyone,
Me
I
too,
don't want to
man.
be overly, like leaning on the visual, because I've heard people complaining recently about audio podcasts that talk about the visual, and it's like
Uh,
make it so that you'd have to watch it. But I feel like every episode, if there's one or two things that are visual, it's all right. But that, Ronald, you ran your hand down your face like a stressed, like like wiping your face, and the camera zoomed in while you were doing it. It really was like very dramatic. So
yeah, it's the beginning of my backroom story. It's all mapped out. They even have pools in there.
well, I'm trying to picture like what would it be for me. It wouldn't be furniture, right? Like it wouldn't be furniture for you or me.
Right. And what would your
It would be
other
maybe my furniture that's in my house, but it wouldn't be piles and piles of furniture like the
Right.
Furniture Man. What would it be? Records, Legos, like musical gear.
and what would your like demon person look like? Would he be like
Oh, God, what would he look like? I mean, I don't dress up as a particular kind of thing.
right?
I don't like dress up as a cowboy and so that it could be a cowboy. I don't know. I guess it would have to be like, I mean, I'm trying to think if it had anything to do with either teaching or audio or something. It would have to have something to do with like a guy, it would be like an audio engineer. It'd be a giant, monstrous audio engineer. He would have like, I don't know, headphones, wires hanging off of him or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It
It's
just
like your levels are low. Your
Yeah.
levels are low.
Yeah, but I don't know. What would it be for you, Ronald? What would your scary pirate self be?
I think it'd be like one of those like dogs with no hair.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think it'd be like one of those, but like my face on the like,
Wow, I didn't know I could go that wild with it.
yeah, it'd be like one of those because that would make me jump. Like I'd be like, "What the fuck is
So if
that?"
it was
Like,
your face on a hairless dog, yeah, that would
Yeah.
be pretty disturbing.
yeah. What about you, Steve? What would your
I have no idea what you're
background?
talking about because I haven't seen the movie.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going along. I'm just smiling along. That's a
Oh,
character choice.
okay. It's a good movie, man. Cool.
All right, guys. Movie.com is the website. You can go there to subscribe to the podcast. Listen to it right on that site. And we keep talking about the YouTube. So it's the youtube.com/movie podcast.
Mhm.
You can subscribe there as well. Listen and watch. Watch long, watch short, watch not even movie schmovie, the home cut, Ronald's little side project for Kaleidoscape. That's all on the YouTube channel. So if you do subscribe, hit the bell so you get notifications when new episodes come out. And yeah, like engage, like comment, like if you like something or don't, or just want to kind of
Yeah.
spend your time commenting on things.
You
You
can
should do
also
that.
shit post
Our
on
things.
Facebook, right? You can
Do that.
shit post
You can do it everywhere.
facebook.com/movie
Hey.
schmovie. Yeah, you can completely tell Johnny he's a shill and should not talk about Supergirl. You do that.
Any
Yeah,
of the above would work. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
they're all allowed and welcome. We'll be back next week. Ronald, your pick for the required viewing again is The
The
Furious.
Furious.
Can't wait to watch it. Can't wait to talk about it. Good seeing you both. Thank you so much for listening. And as always, you made our day. Thanks.
Bye.